Welcome to this episode of Ask the Guitar Coach, the only podcast where you get answers to all your guitar-related questions. If you're interested in developing your guitar skills and reaching your music goals, please send me an email at the email address ioannis@ioannis.org. That is IOANNIS at IOANNIS.org, so that I can let you know about all the different packages of elite guitar coaching and how you can get private coaching by me. Without further ado, let's go to our question for the day. Is it possible to make a $200 guitar sound like a $2,000 guitar? Okay, this will be fun to answer. So obviously, it is really not possible to make them sound identical. But what I can definitely suggest is some ways that you can make your $200 guitar sound much better. So let's get started with that. The first thing you should do is change your strings. Just by changing your strings to brand new strings, you're going to have a huge upgrade in your sound. This is a really good idea to do it as often as possible or as often as you feel comfortable, because it really will give a big boost to the sound quality of your instrument, especially if it's a kind of a low-end instrument. The next thing to do would be to take your guitar to be professionally set up. So the setup will include, as we mentioned, changing strings, but will also improve things as intonation and setting of the neck, making sure your harmonics are correctly set up, and a million little things that a good guitar tech will do for your guitar when you're having it set up. This will definitely upgrade the sound quality and the playing quality of your instrument. So that's a really, really good idea and one of the best things that you can do if you want your guitar to sound better. Now moving to number 3. Number 3 for me would be changing the nut and or the bridge on your guitar. I will concentrate on the nut right here because changing the bridge right here can be very costly and can be a difficult thing to do unless you take it to a really good guitar tech. But this also depends on the kind of bridge you have on your guitar. So if you have a cheap nut here, like just a regular plastic nut, which is very usually the case if your guitar is a $200 guitar, then just upgrading that to something made of graphite or any other high quality material will definitely liven up the sound of your guitar by giving it a better sound and better quality of your harmonics. It sounds difficult to believe, but I have seen a big difference whenever I've done it to a cheap guitar. So this would be suggestion number 3. So as you've seen so far, my suggestions climb up in cost. The first suggestion would be just change the strings, which is maybe $10. The next one would be to go have your guitar set up anywhere from $30 to $50, then changing parts of the guitar, the nut and the bridge, which would be anywhere from again 30 to several hundreds. The next suggestion is probably the most expensive one, and this is changing the pickups. Now, I have done a previous video on whether you should put expensive pickups on a cheap guitar, and the answer is usually not. But this question right now that we're answering is different. Because in this question, we're trying specifically to make a cheaper guitar sound more expensive. So if you want to make it sound more expensive, one of the best things you can do is give it a good set of pickups. Now, my personal choice for a cheap guitar would be to put EMG pickups, active EMG pickups. My set of choice is usually the 81, 85 humbuckers, and the reason I am supporting the specific setup for a cheap guitar is the following. So if you have active pickups on a cheap guitar, the sound you're gonna listen to is gonna be much more the sound of the pickups than the sound of the guitar. So in the case of an inexpensive instrument, that's a really good idea, because you really don't want the quality of the woods and the rest of the materials influence so much the end sound quality that you get. So by changing the stock pickups with a set of EMGs, the sound you're going to listen to is going to be much more the sound of the EMG pickups than the sound of the guitar, which is exactly what we're going for in this specific case. So there you have it. I hope this was helpful. 4 ways to upgrade the sound of your $200 guitar and make it sound much closer to a much more expensive guitar. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the next episode of Ask the Guitar Coach. Bye bye.